everybody. I'm back again. It's night. First time I'm doing a live stream at night, so forgive the lighting. I wanted to talk today a little bit about moms and children. Children undergoing this whole process of having an alienating parent and a narcissistic parent, which is almost the same thing. A parent, excuse me, sorry about that. A narcissistic parent will more than likely try to tell the child what to think, how to feel, and will coach the child with punishment, taking away their needs or their perks, their toys, their phones, cell phones, etc., to control the child. Hi, Lynn. Miss you too, Mama. Hi, Maria. Sorry, Marie Montana. The other way around. Hi, how are you? I'm glad to see you here too. Yes, so they control the child. They try to coach the child in what to think, especially about you during the divorce process. I know I'm deviating a bit from the father's rights movement, etc., but you'll see it all ties in, because the point is the narcissistic father, the narcissistic parent. More than likely it's a father, okay? And they're adept at utilizing parental alienation, and they're well taught by the father's rights movement and how to use it, and how to use it at critical points during your divorce and after. Love you. Love you too, Montana. Oh, it's so interesting to call you that. But anyway, Montana is a state. Okay. So, how to navigate while your child is being disruptive, disrespectful, disobedient, which is what the parent is teaching them and coaching them to do, attempting to indoctrinate the child against you. And we've been there. I think majority of us have gone through that. Initially, it will be difficult, and there may be times you will react in a way to the child that can be construed to be abusive, because you may become angry with the child, and the child may be using curse words against you, etc., and you react. But you realize what's going on with the child, that they're being indoctrinated, that they're being used as a tool to aggravate and anger you and cause you to react in ways that are unacceptable. And the only way to deal with the child from that point on, after you realize that the child is being used as a pawn and as a tool for the other parent to gain control over you as well as the child, is with a great deal of patience and ignoring the child and shutting it down when the child tries to pick a fight or an argument. When they step out of line, they're going to be crossing lots of boundaries, because they're being encouraged to do so, and they're being rewarded by the other parent to do so. However, over time, the child starts to see the dynamic. While the child is going through this, they're not aware, especially the older children over 12. They're going to be more aware of the fact that, daddy tells them to do this against mom, dad tells them all these things against mom, and they're not true. They'll understand that Dad is doing this. Sorry, the kitty's around. Dad is doing this, and he's rewarding me, but then dad becomes inconsistent in rewarding the child. And then he becomes punishing when the child questions him. And eventually, the child will want to be back with the parent who is consistent, stable, and nurturing and loving. So those are the things we do as moms. We do them naturally. The father doesn't have the ability to do those things, and the child will eventually come back into your custody if they make that decision to do so without your, for example, telling them to do it. What that whole scenario is about is letting the child know that you're there and you're open and you love them and they're safe with you and they will come back to you. Now, for example, in Florida, the age of consent is 16, I believe. So my daughter left her father's custody volitionally, for example, and came into my custody, and there was nothing that could be done about it. The only thing the court found that the court did through the father, conjunction with the father, was to steal my daughter's child support that I had paid in advance. They patted the father on the back and they took all of my daughter's child support for themselves and for the father, and they never made him accountable for returning that money to her for her college, etc., or her future plans. So that's how the court felt justified for her volitionally leaving his custody, was to monetarily punish her in that regard. And basically that's what I'm fighting. I want you moms to know this. Fighting a battle you know you may not win. There's a 50-50 chance that you may not win this battle, but still fighting anyway gives you some great courage. It requires a lot of courage. It requires a lot of self-respect. And even if you never win, you know you did your best. And you know that your children are worth it at all times. They're worth the fight. We know that. What's not worth it is feeding the system financially for a gain that you may never experience if you took them on by yourself. And they may say, oh, she's crazy, she's ludicrous to think she can fight a well-established establishment, a well-established institution. But I don't buy into all of that. I have to go with my heart. I have to go with everything I know, and I have to convince. And it doesn't take much convincing. I have to know for a fact that I'm going to try my very best to get my children back. And they don't deserve to be in the position they're in. They don't deserve to live through what they have gone through. They never deserve that. And I'm going to fight. And yes, my intention is to win. Will that happen? I don't know. Any day my son comes back into my custody where he belongs is the day I'll know I've scored a victory. And that victory would not be for me. It would have been for my son and his future. And for him to have the ability to live a decent life, a life he deserves. And I would like you to have that kind of passion about yourself and your children. And I know you do. I'm not saying you don't, but to translate it in the courtroom. And to be, encouraged and know that you can stand up One of the things in watching Andrea last night, triggered a couple of things for me about financial abuse in marriage, which she talks about. I posted her video on my page, and it's in, you should take a look at it. She also talked about talking parents and our family wizard, and with those tools, it's just another means of control. This whole court process during divorce, this whole fatherhood.gov, the fatherhood initiatives, etc., are methods of control, controlling mothers, suppressing mothers, oppressing mothers. And we have the ability to stand up. We can do it. Even if we're one person. I was in court with like 30 people. I was the only one in there representing me. There were police officers, etc., etc. Of course I was scared. But did I show that? No. I didn't know what to expect. But I went there because of my son, because of the passion I have for my son. So whatever happened, I knew why I was there, what the ground was that I was standing on, and I exited that courtroom, and I told the police officers, I'm so sorry they summoned you here to waste your time, because I'm not whoever they say I am, or whoever they think I am, and I'm not going to behave whichever way they expect me to. So that's basically all I'm going to say tonight. I've got to tell you, since I kind of put some puzzle pieces together yesterday, in reference to evidence, and you'll see my post on it, I am going to do another live feed on evidence next week. I will do that. My energy has been a little low, and I wasn't gonna come on tonight, but I think I feel responsible to do that, so I'm here. And I wanted to also say I'm not gonna be on until next Wednesday again, just so that everybody can try to, take care of themselves during this Christmas time. I know it's not everybody celebrates Christmas, but still use it as a day to take care of yourself, a day to relax, a day to rest, a day, if even you're alone as a mom, that you fix yourself a little cake, a nice meal, and light a candle and enjoy it. Enjoy every mouthful of it, and drink some eggnog. And I wish I was with all of you guys and we could all be together. Lynn always talks about that, and I think that's a fantastic heart that she has for all of us to be in the same space and just really nurture each other. But we can do that for ourselves until that day comes. And I appreciate your being here, and I thank you again. And I won't see you, so for those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, and for those who don't, Happy Self Day to you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.